I moved to LA and left LA in the same year. After 7 months of living there, I left. The only good thing that I can say is that the weather is nice. They have really nice views, mountains, beaches, and it's a lot to do. Other than that, the homelessness out there is insane. Like,
She's not lying about that. That is such a true stat. I'm curious to know. I know that I have all sorts of people from everywhere here on my channel. How's the homelessness? Just like randomly, comment down below. How's the homelessness where you're at? I don't care what part of the world you're in. I'm curious to know. I think this would be an interesting comment section if you guys share that. But how's the homeless crisis in your city? Because in Los Angeles, here, where I live, it is out of control. And it's been that way for a while.
it's homeless people everywhere. They even have a section downtown that they took over called Skid Row, and it's like a whole homeless community. It is crazy. It's trash everywhere. It's graffiti everywhere. It smells like pee out there.
And shit.
And the job market out there, I don't even think it exists. It's so hard getting a job. I didn't have a job for like the first 2 months. Then I got on with a staffing company. They couldn't even find me a job. You literally have to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that can get you on. I ran into someone that helped me get a job, but by that time it was too late. And the crime out there is crazy, y'all. It was always something going on every single day. Like, I've
So you never worked while you, how did you survive?
witnessed high speed chases, stuff being blown up, police outside chasing people, like people breaking in a car, just so much every day. Helicopters, it was a mess. I have so many videos in my phone of just the police. And the people out there, it's really kind of hard making friends because I feel like everybody, when they talk to you, it's like they're trying to sell themselves, as if they finna get signed or something like that. Like, just be normal, be yourself. And then I feel like they have like a fake it till you make it type of vibe out there. I'm just not a fake person. I don't know how to be. Like, even at my job, they was like, you have a really relaxed demeanor. You just got to fake it. I'm not faking nothing.
Yeah. I remember when I first moved to LA, I did my due diligence to make sure that I studied on what to expect. You see all the horror stories about how expensive it is in Los Angeles. But at the time, there was really no talking myself out of doing exactly that. I was also during that time kind of getting into the podcasting space and starting out my personal brand. A tip to anybody. Here's what I think, especially for young men in particular. It's a good experience to move to another city and learn how to survive on your own. The thing is, if you're going to be in a place like Los Angeles or San Francisco or any other place that's very expensive, then you're going to need to be very, very serious about finding employment that's flexible. You have to be very, very serious about getting to the bread. Very serious. I had rules for myself at the time. One of those rules was little to no dating at the time. I wasn't trying to make friends because at that point I understood that you can easily fall into that social trap and you can use it as an excuse of like, oh yeah, I'm going to network and find a job when the reality is you're going to network your way into spending more money, being distracted, getting caught up with some chick. You focus, right? Discipline, sexual discipline. You pray. You stay focused on your goal. You work on it every single day. You don't play. You're very frugal. And of course, you can't be antisocial your whole life. It's not something that's sustainable over a long period of time. But this is the type of mindset that will get you to a point where you'll be able to get some consistent income and make progress in whatever you want to do quicker than other people who can't implement discipline. And once you decide to lock in like that, you truly see that most people can't do that. They have to go out once in a while. They have to spend time with friends and family. Most people can't discipline themselves to that level of commitment. And when I talk to people who are struggling to find their way, many times there'll be the same people who be going out every weekend. They're the same people who will always be trying to figure out, hey, what are you doing tonight? And part of the reason I told myself no friends whatsoever, just remain focused, was I realized that the more friends you make, the more those people expect you to hang out with them, to go out with them, to waste time with them. You got to lock in.
Engaged or soon to be married men, getting a prenup doesn't have to be confusing. At fathershaverights.com, we break everything down in plain, simple English so you feel in control from day one. Here's one of our 5-star reviews from Logan. I didn't know much about prenups before, but the way everything was explained made it easy to understand. It didn't feel overwhelming or super legal heavy. It was just real advice that actually made sense. I feel way more secure going into marriage now. Grab the guide for the price of a couple of dinner dates by clicking the pinned link in the comments and join the hundreds of future husbands securing their marriages the right way.
I already knew the price of living was expensive, but it's significantly different from the South. Like gas was $6, eggs was $12, and y'all, I'm the type of person I never looked at prices until I moved to LA. Like I would just throw stuff in the basket because I mean, shit, I need it, you know. But then out there, I was like, I don't think I need that. And although LA is a really, really big city, it feels very, very, very lonely. Like I was starting to get depressed out there. And it just wasn't worth my mental health. And this is just my experience. To each his own. You know, some people may love it. It just wasn't for me. You know, like I would definitely be back to visit, but to live there, it's just not worth it to me.
And that's okay. That's okay. You learn and you move on. Check out a few of these comments. Top comment here says you can not move to Skid Row and then say it's trash everywhere. That is hilarious. Someone else here added and says facts, LOL, but let her go. Is it trash ever in LA? No, it's not trash everywhere in LA, but you can't deny that there's a serious homeless problem down here. It's just a fact. Somebody else here added only California people love California. Yep. Listen, I do love Cali. Doesn't mean I'm not tempted to consider moving anywhere else, but I do love Cali. Somebody else who says, I left Los Angeles to move to California. Somebody else who says, first mistake was staying in downtown LA. Here's another person who added, downtown LA is lit. And somebody else who says, yeah, to shop, party, eat, not lay my head at night. Windows got busted. Parties got shot up. That's crazy. Another person who says, you just moved to the wrong part, baby. Is another person who says, did you research first? Okay, I get what's going on here. I see. Listen, I'm a proud Californian myself. And I don't consistently shit on LA. I really don't. I think there are a few places that have the type of weather we have here in California, but that homeless problem is serious.
A little message to people that move to Los Angeles and then spend the entire time that they're in Los Angeles complaining about how terrible Los Angeles is from somebody who's born and raised in Los Angeles and real Los Angeles, not like Ventura. Nobody cares that back home is better. Nobody cares that gas is cheaper. Nobody cares that the oceans are warmer. Nobody cares that the weather's better. Nobody cares. We don't care. We don't care. In fact, if back home is so much better, go back. Because living in LA, complaining about how terrible LA is about as original as moving to LA to be an actor, actress, or model. And the people that care about it least are the people that are from there. I moved to the East Coast to a different city 4 months ago. So before anyone comes at me about saying anything, I speak from what I know. And I've done zero complaining about where I moved from. I've done zero complaining. There's been none. I've complained zero. When people ask me how are things here, it's such a different place. It is very different. That's why I moved here. We don't have a baseball team where I live now. We don't have one or two football teams. We're not going to host the Olympics. The shopping isn't very good. But I chose to move here. So I'm not going to spend my entire time complaining about how much better it was from where I chose to move from. And last thing I'll say, everybody in LA doesn't suck. They're not all assholes. And if you want to know how I know that, go ask the people that you think suck and are assholes, ask them where they're from. Because I guarantee you, they're from somewhere else too.
You know what I hate? I hate the LA slander. I hate when people come out here, move to my city, because I am born and raised here in LA, and they drag it for filth. They're like, oh, LA smoggy, it's homeless, and okay, go home. Go home then. Just leave. Just leave us alone. We'll be fine without you. And the crazy part about it is the people that I know that moved out of here, they are so sad. They're like, oh, it's raining in my city. It's cold out here. There is nowhere in late October that looks like this. There's nowhere. And this stays. This stays to November. This stays to December. So all you people that, dragging my city for filth, you need to stop just because you can't afford it. And it's okay that you can't afford it. It's totally fine. I would have got the hell up out of here too. But I'm from here. And my mentality is, if it's too expensive, make more money. but stop dragging my city. Thank you.
Previously on the coffee pot,
Meet the unofficial mayor of Skid Row.
If you can put a man on the moon, you can clean these streets up. I used to be homeless here at Skid Row, so I know what it's like to live out here on the street.
So this was your first job off the street?
That sign that just popped up, I've driven through there before.
A lot of homeless come here to eat. A lot of time they got no money. We end up giving them food.
This place has been like this for over 100 years in one way or another, right?
Right, but every mayor that come in, Garcetti, all of them say, oh, we're going to fix it. We're going to work on it. They start off trying to fix it, but something is wrong.
Mental health is the underlying issue.
That's the big issue. Until we can address the mental health part of this thing, it's an uphill battle. Anytime you see people walk down the street naked with a machete in their hand, you know it's a problem. They shut down the mental hospitals and they don't put them back out on the street.
Right.
This is the stuff that I have to deal with. They had a homeless count not long ago, and they said the numbers was going down. We don't believe that the numbers is going down. I had about 150 children living in tents with big old rodents out there. I say, how can we let this condition happen? What happened to humanity in this country?
Someone was killed here yesterday?
Yesterday on the streets here on 5th and Stanford, they stabbed him.
I am convinced that the goal isn't to fix this problem in Los Angeles. Unfortunately, that's the conclusion I've come to. It seems to be, of course, a way that they've been making money from setting aside a budget to fix the homeless situation. Everybody gets paid. If they did fix it, of course, the people who are getting paid very handsomely would lose all their jobs. So there's an incentive for them to keep going. You can call that a conspiracy, but unless if you actually live in Los Angeles, then you don't know how bad it actually is. It's pretty horrible. There's some places that smell like literal shit. Whole places that smell like literal human feces. And it's disgusting. Now, if Trump was to fix the homeless problem, the funny thing is that people would be upset. But the people who have to deal with this, of course, would be happy. And what's crazy about this is you have someone like Governor Newsom who's trying to maybe potentially run for president. And you look at his portfolio, and this is a big part of it. And it's unfortunate. So got a few comments here. Top comment here says, if you can put a man on the moon, you can clean these streets. That's a very, very good point. Somebody else here added, they got money for wars, but can't feed the poor. Here's somebody else who says, I love black men who overcome and help the community. Somebody else here says he should run for office. Another person here added, Skid Row is no joke. I only been there once and that was enough. Yeah, it's crazy, man. People come to LA and make it a point to drive through Skid Row just so they can see with their own eyes. This commenter here says, just a couple of blocks away, literal billionaires live. It's insane. Somebody responded back to that and says, and celebrities too. These celebrities, they don't care about how these people are doing. They say they care, but in reality, they don't. Well, it's not their job, right? They're paying the high taxes. They're doing their job, but it's not their job to care. It's the leadership here in LA. This idea that celebrities are supposed to do this thing for communities is just it's crazy. Somebody else who says this man is speaking so much truth. Another person here added, what happened to humanity? Here's somebody else who says, protect him. They don't like people like him. He's too weak. Now, the problem with the people in the comment section, and I bet you this is the issue with the majority of them, is they think there is a painless way to deal with this situation. The reality is, I could imagine if people had to fix the issue of the homeless crisis down here in LA, then you would see a lot of what you're seeing done here with ICE, for example, right? And no, this has nothing to do with immigrants. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how there are people who are mentally ill. And I'm not saying that immigrants are mentally ill. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the process of how do we get these people help? They're not going to walk in to get help, right? The person who's naked with a machete going around threatening to stab everybody, which this actually does happen very often, they're not going to go seek help themselves. You'd have to actually go and, in a sense, round these people up. And unfortunately, it's like people don't understand. It's the same people that don't believe that they have to discipline their kids. And so they just sit there and raise coddled kids who are unprepared for the world, and eventually some of them just give up on life, and the worst case scenario, which I don't want to talk about, but they end up in very bad situations because they don't want to do the hard thing. A lot of people who look at this and say, well, how do we fix this? They think you can go there and talk to the guy with the machete or the woman with the machete who's walking around naked and say, hey, come over here. They're not going to listen to you. You have to be very drastic, painful, and slightly forceful experience. And the leadership in LA they don't have the balls to get it done. I just don't think they do. Somebody else here added, this man is literally dedicating his life to giving back to his community. Another person here added, he's 100% right. Here's somebody else who says he's so right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm ready.
Hey, here we is, Skid Row again. Come here.
Wow, this is a baby on Skid Row. Wow, this is sad.
I'm ready.
Hey, here we is, Skid Row.
You see that?
Come here early in the morning. We see that the lady here has been here almost 2 weeks here at Skid Row, still living in a tent with her children. However, we know that's not acceptable. The lady is asking for help, begging for help to get out of Skid Row. This is what we face, the children out here, and it's no good to have the children living on Skid Row.
There you go. Democratic leadership right there on full display.
So you look down here, you see some more children. However, we know that we this is what we talk about in the court, about fixing the problem here.
I don't even know if this is safe to show on my channel. And why wouldn't YouTube allow that? I don't even know if this is safe to show. There's a child walking barefoot. I don't know if I can show this.
We come to Skid Row here on this beautiful Friday morning. Come back to help to unhouse here at Skid Row. We will continue to help to unhouse at Skid Row. We know that their life has been very shattered. But however, we can do whatever we can to make their life a little bit better. I want to thank what's the organization here?
Christopher Bailey
Foundation for what they do here at Skid Row. Coming out here twice a week to make it happen.
I'm going to go check them out. I want to get involved.
I want to thank Amy for donating the muffins here. The muffins was going to be used today to help the people. However, we just want to thank all the volunteers and all the people who continue to make this happen in Skid Row. And I want to thank the community for allowing us to help them. With that, today on this beautiful Friday, I'm out for now.
Hey guys, as always, I appreciate you checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. To my currently engaged or soon to be married men, if you need a prenup and would like a guide that shows you how to get a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement, hit the link pinned to the top of the comment section and access your guide at fathershaverights.com today.